everyone, Jason from Iron Fence Shop with a quick answer to a common question we get all the time. Today's question is, how do I find a driveway gate installer? Here at Iron Fence Shop, we are big believers in our do-it-yourself folks and try our best to educate and help them out when tackling the project. However, not everyone has the time, skills, or wants to do their own driveway gate installation. At Iron Fence Shop, we only supply and ship the gates countrywide. So where do you find a driveway gate installer if you aren't looking to do it yourself? Now, if you've dealt with a home remodel or contractors in general, you know it can be a mixed bag of good ones versus bad ones. And sadly, the bad ones tend to outnumber the good ones. So, like we did in a previous video with the fence, let's go over 5 items to consider and what information to have on hand when looking for someone to install your iron or aluminum driveway gate. Item number 1, what kind of company do I look for? Most cities will have a couple local fence companies. However, you probably aren't going to find a local Gus's Gate installation company since driveway gates are a much smaller and more unique home installation project. Some fence installations will install driveway gates, but they don't all offer that. While a fence company can be a valid option, it's not my first choice to point folks towards. Some will only do driveway gates as part of a larger fence project, or they may install driveway gates, but only if you buy the gate from them, which may be lower quality or not what you're looking for. So what are some other types of contractors or companies that can install an iron or aluminum driveway gate for you? My favorite alternative option is a landscaping company. Not the guys that just cut grass, but the ones that do design work and can also build decks, retaining walls, patios, so on and so forth. Those companies have skill sets that translate perfectly to driveway gate installation. They're also typically more open to you bringing them an already chosen gate option from someone like me, rather than them having to go find one for you. Another good option is a garage door or dock door installation and repair company. The companies that make door automation typically also make gate automation, and it's something that those garage/dock door companies install and are familiar with as well. We've also had customers use family, friends, handyman services, general maintenance staff, electricians, painters, and carpenters, just to name a few, to install our driveway gates for them. Anyone handy that can read the instructions we provide can tackle installing an iron or aluminum driveway gate for you. If you have a company or person interested, but they're not sure if they can do it, have them call us and pick our brains on any gate install questions that they have. Unlike most gate manufacturers, we don't mind answering questions and helping someone figure out if they feel comfortable installing our gates. Item number 2, how do I find a good install company? Let's say you've identified a few local companies to check out. Now comes the hardest part. How do you find out which ones are good? Now, I feel word of mouth is always going to be your most powerful tool here. Word of mouth tends to be a little bit more direct and honest than something online. Ask around if anyone has used the company before and if they can tell you a little bit about their experience or their project. Also, any contractor worth their salt should have references they can provide to you. Next up would be looking for online reviews or testimonials. Do they have any testimonials on their direct website? How about ratings on Google or the Better Business Bureau, Angie's List, or Facebook? In this day and age, it's tough not to have some type of presence out there in terms of reviews and ratings. When it comes to ratings, spend a little time reading through them. Don't assume that 5 stars is an absolute winner and maybe a 2 to 3 star one is an automatic loser to avoid. I've seen 5-star rated companies that only have 1 or 2 reviews that sound like they were typed by the owner. Or they may have many reviews, but they have the cadence and feel of a fake or bot-generated content. Sometimes a lower-rated contractor may have just had a vindictive customer or someone trying to poison their ratings. By reading through the ratings, you should get a good feel for the company. 100 5-star ratings that all sound like great job with no job details or specifics would be a red flag to me. A 3-star rating with many good reviews, but a couple bad ones, can be customers having unreasonable expectations, or even something as silly as them not understanding how to do an online rating. I've seen multiple instances where a 1-star rating that should be the worst had comments below it that were nothing but glowing and positive. Weird stuff can happen with online ratings that are not representative of the company. Use them as a tool, but not your full deciding factor. Lastly, do they have any affiliations? For instance, are they a member in good standing with the Better Business Bureau? Do they have an active presence on contractor sites like Angie's List or Home Advisor? You should be able to use one or all of these options we just discussed to try and find a good installer and get a feel for them and their company. Item number 3, what information do I need to provide to them? Okay, you found a gate installer you want to feel out. What information should you have on hand to provide them when you contact them? Preparedness here is key, as calling someone with details versus a generic request will help the installer realize you're serious and not just window shopping. While you don't have to have all of these details finalized or chosen, these are my 3 recommendations for the info you should have prepared on hand for a potential gate installer to show that you're serious and that you've done your homework. The first chunk of info is the type, height, width, and weight of the driveway gate you want. Having a general idea on these 3 items that combine into one gate setup helps give some context to a potential installer on what they're working with. The type of gate is in regards if it's a swing, rolling, cantilever, or sliding gate. At Iron Fence Shop, we only make swing gates. Sliding and rolling gates are difficult and extremely expensive to make. They will also chase off probably 99% of your potential installers. Swing gates are something more easily built, shipped, and installed. The height and width of gate will make sure it's something they feel comfortable working with too. A simple 5-foot tall by 12-foot wide aluminum driveway gate may be something the installer's okay working with, whereas some monster 7-foot tall by 24-foot wide iron gate may be more than they're willing to tackle. If you can get it in advance, weight per gate leaf or section is good to know too. Many installers may think an iron driveway gate is some 500-pound monstrosity that is too heavy to work with, when in reality it might be a manageable 150 pounds built out of steel and iron. Don't lose potential installers over misconceptions and missing information. The second bit of info is the driveway width and surrounding area the gate is going in. This is another area where having good details can be beneficial for you and the installer. When talking to customers about driveway gates, a key bit of information is the width of the driveway. The number of times I've heard, an average or standard size driveway, about driveway gates probably numbers in the tens of thousands at this point for me. There is no such thing as an average or common or standard driveway width. It varies by house type, land size, and even regionally. Toss a tape measure across your driveway and have that number handy. Knowing how wide your driveway is helps the installer determine the width of the gate they may be working with. Again, a 12-foot wide driveway may net up "I'll do it" versus a 24-foot driveway gate getting you a "sorry, not interested." You also want to note the area the gate is going in. For instance, is this a freestanding gate near the end of the driveway with no restrictions on either side? Or are we dealing with pre-existing columns, pillars, walls, buildings, or property lines near the gate that may complicate fitment and installation? Being able to provide that info or send a photo of the area the gate's going in ahead of time can be beneficial to the process. The last bit of info I'd recommend having on hand is if you want an automated or a manual driveway gate. This is another area of driveway gate installation that is key to figure out in advance. It's also part of your project that may require 2 different install companies versus 1. Some installers may be open to installing the gate, but not the gate automation system. Most gate automation kits available today are fairly DIY friendly, but potential installers may not want to deal with the electronics and wiring. So if you want an automated gate, be sure to mention that fact early on when you're looking for a driveway gate installer. You may need to have one person install the gate and a separate person install the automation. Also, be sure to do some research into what functionality you need from your automation system. An installer may be open to installing a basic automation system triggered from your car. However, they may not be comfortable installing a system with every accessory in the book thrown at it and included, along with cross functionality to other systems like cameras or intercoms. Item number 4, discuss payment terms and scheduling. If it's looking like you found someone you may want to use, be sure to discuss the details and requirements on both payment and scheduling. Beware of guys trying to request full payment up front or pressuring you into making a decision right away. Payment terms are typically a down payment of the total project cost, usually around 50%, and then the remaining portion due later if it's going to be a multi-day project. Be sure to ask what forms of payment they accept and if there are any additional fees involved. A cash payment price may vary from a credit card payment price. Ask what is covered for that price too. Will they clean up the area afterwards, such as taking away or grading post-hole dirt? Will they stuff your garbage cans full of all the packaging and concrete bags, or will they haul that away? Does the price include all needed materials and rental costs? If permitting is required, are they filing and paying for it, or is that your responsibility? Are they taking freight delivery of the gate for you, or is that on you to handle? Try to get a clear understanding on what is and isn't included in the price they're giving you. Be sure to discuss scheduling and availability as well. Some installers may be booked out weeks to months. Don't wait until you've given them money to find out it's going to be 3 months before they can come back out. Also, be sure to ask how long it will take. If it's a multi-day project, as gate ones typically are, how long until they come back? What time do they start and finish each day? Lastly, be sure to ask what the process is to handle something going wrong. If you aren't satisfied with the install work or something is damaged, who do you talk to and how do they handle those situations? And that cleanly takes us into final item number 5. Trust your gut. The last consideration when looking for an installer is trusting your gut. This can mean multiple things, but if something feels off, trust that instinct. You should feel like the installer understands your project and wants to work with you. If they aren't calling or emailing you back, or taking a long time to do so, chances are it's going to be that way through the entire project. Communication is key, and in a world of phones, emails, and text messages, getting a reply back within 24 hours Monday through Friday shouldn't be a crazy expectation. If you feel like you didn't trust the person, they didn't seem knowledgeable, or you just didn't hit it off, ask yourself if that is someone you feel comfortable working with and paying for on a project like this. Do you feel like they understood your project wants and needs? Did they ask questions or offer suggestions or solutions for problem areas? Did it seem like they were trying to help address and solve any potential install issues now rather than when they're on site? While it's hard to quantify, not vibing with or trusting your installer is likely going to continue through the project and lead to confrontations or disappointment in the end. If your gut tells you that person is not going to be good to work with, move on. So to wrap things up, use those parameters in your search for a driveway gate installer. Going in with some ideas on what to look for and as many details as possible on your project is the best way to be prepared. Folks that leave everything up to the installer can often get burned and taken advantage of. The more details you have on hand for the desired gate product and installation job itself, the better the questions and answers you and that potential installer can work through. Now, if we can help with any other questions about finding a potential gate installer, give us a call at 800-261-2729 or shoot us an email at sales@ironfenceshop.com. We look forward to working with you on your project.